Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Proficiency Bonus. My name is Dan, aka Vol Pirate, and welcome to another episode of Alien RPG Evolved Edition. This is Building Better Worlds, Frontier Fortune, Episode 10. Last week, the unknown ship landed. The team encountered some poor souls who just found out that their colony members passed away unexpectedly. They were overcome with grief, and that's when Stanley took the lead to comfort them and state that they lost all their rights and findings on this planet. After some back and forth, two of those people went to get some water for everyone, only to trick William and to take him hostage at gunpoint. Meanwhile, on the ship, Franz and Sam went to go check out the other ship with Isaac, who was very upset about their medical procedures and found out that someone else was still on the ship. The person who stayed with Stanley gave him the slip and met up with the other two companions who had William hostage, and then were making their way to the ship to take advantage of the situation. Who William then turned it on them during a brief moment and was able to overpower and wrestle the gun away from one of them while tripping up another. Franz is apparently an expert marksman who took down two of them quickly, and then the third gave up at gunpoint at William. And the one on the ship, after a quick shout from, I believe it was Sam, immediately threw down his gun, and that is where we left off. So, as always, with that, anything that anyone wants to bring up before we start?
No, I'm ready to go. Mainly just that I'm excited to try out the new update to Foundry. Seeing the new stats and stuff should make all the mechanics a lot easier to process through now that we have proper systems for them.
Yeah. No, and so for those of you watching, we do have the new Alien Evolved edition for Foundry added in here, so it's going to make rolling significantly faster. So it's going to be great from that standpoint. Oh, hey, Vol Pirate, thanks for subscribing. Great of you. Yeah, so experience. We gave out experience last round. Did anyone want to use any of those? And then for what?
I'm good for now.
Yeah, I'm going to save mine for now.
I think I'm sitting on mine.
I'm going to. I was planning on saving it, but I'm going to spend 5 experience to get the gunner talent because Franz mentioned being better with the ship weapons, and the gunner talent will help make that actually true.
All right.
Well played.
So we got that. And then we will follow back up with William and see what his character is going to be doing. If he wants to change any points. So let's get over. Oh, also, did you all get your paychecks? I know I told you at the end. Do you still need to add money?
I
No,
think I need to add money.
I'm up to 5K.
Okay. So for anyone
I
who
didn't add
didn't, I'm gonna read out the pays again. So Isaac's 1,400. The officer and marshal are 600. Company rep is 850. Is that what I said?
Yeah, I'm at 5K, right? Because it's 14, right? Up 1,400. Never
Yes.
mind. I see.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
And pilot another 900.
What was the company rep again?
850.
850.
Oh. Okay. So
let's go into town and buy some beers.
Yeah. All right, let's activate this scene. So just kind of a quick overview. Obviously, we don't have a full map for this, but it was Okay, I dropped you off, Franz. Where did you go on the map? There you go. Oh, so the map's cut off up there. Okay. So it's a little bit different when you move. It changes your token. And then are you able to see the map right now? Because we did change the
Yes.
stuff. So that's why I want to make sure. Okay. Okay. So you may be sideways. Don't worry about it.
Taking a nap.
Yeah. So you three are up here. And then it was Stanley along with Gadget and stuff. We're just about to come out of that airlock, but you guys killed them all really fast, so I didn't get to get them involved. So basically, as the last one went down, Stanley, Flash, and Gadget would have been coming out of the door, running that way. So that is where that is at. William's in the middle, and then the PCs that we have alive are Greg, who is with the top three. And then the other one is Wexy, who is by William. Oh, welcome in, Paul. We were just going over the recap. We covered, did anyone want to spend any experience points? And then making sure that everyone got paid for last week. And then going over where everyone was at in the map. So the first thing I guess I will ask you is, did you want to spend any experience points?
You are muted right now, Paul.
Still muted on Discord. There we
Sorry,
go.
I thought I'd clicked on that when I first sat down. I think I'm okay. I should be back into the actual forge board in just a moment.
Okay.
And again, sorry for the delay, guys.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
no worries.
We were all just going over all the new mechanics of the Foundry with the Evolved Edition and everything else. So if you have questions about anything, we're all still learning it as well. So, but it is a lot easier. It's a lot less clicking, hopefully.
Okay. And okay, that's a new one. Save player configuration, sure. All righty. Hey, I'm back in. Woo. Change from last week.
Yeah, we were talking about how you went OP and just took everyone down and just
I
destroyed
didn't.
everything.
I took one down. It was Franz who lit them up.
Well, you put him in that position, and then you wrestled the shotgun out, tripped the other one. I mean, and then Franz just got to take all the credit.
Well, as I said, when he was asked the question, how are you good at shooting people or something like that? He says, I'm better with a ship, and all I could think is if we get him behind a ship's gun, he's gonna be a devastating force. But okay, I'm here. I'll forego XP spending at this point and leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, if you find something during the game, feel free to pop it up. Also,
All right.
you did get paid, so you get another $600 added to your account.
Okay, let me get my sheet.
And then the other thing that we were saying is Sam, Franz, and Isaac are on the other people's ship with Greg, who is the survivor of that ship. And then you are by Wexy, who is the other person who gave up and surrendered when you pointed the shotgun at her face, seeing the other two down. And then Stanley, Gadget, and Flash, along with Mason, came out of the airlock to outside and were running that way as everything kind of settled down. And that is where we left off. So,
okay, I do just have one quick question. is Wexy the one that was trying to distract me while the one who's dead actually got my shotgun, or do I have that reversed?
Wexy is the one who was occupying you. The one who you wrestled the shotgun back from is the one who is dead. That's the
Okay,
one who got
just
it
wanted to
from
make
you. So yeah, Wexy was giving you sweet nothings.
right. Okay.
Okay. And that is where we left off. So we have Greg, who the minute Sam shouted at him, he threw it down. Wexy was kind of upset, frustrated, and then threw her gun down. And that's where we're at. Take it away.
All right. Well, let's see. On board the ship, we've got Franz and myself and Isaac, right?
Yep.
So
I guess.
let's make sure this person is completely disarmed.
Yeah. As you pat them down, you realize that pistol was really the only thing they had. They have a suit on.
Okay.
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 Nothing else. They have like a few bucks on them, maybe something like it. There's really nothing of note on them.
Is there anyone else on this ship? I say, just to make sure.
And then Greg's like, "No, don't. There's no one else. That's it."
All right. Come with us. Let's take him out. Let's walk down the gangplank. Head outside.
Isaac's going to.
Isaac, you stay with the ship and you start going through their database. All right.
All right, Captain. I will. And Isaac's
All right.
gonna make his way up to the bridge.
All right. And so you guys, Sam and Franz, you take Greg out. Stanley, you meet up obviously with William and the young lady, and then you have Flash and Gadget
Mhm.
obviously with you as well. And then Sam and Franz and Greg would also, the other and bystander would be coming out as well to join you all, kind of all in the middle there, with Isaac being on the ship still.
Mhm.
Okay. I still don't have a radio working on my suit. So I'm going to point to Flash and Gadget, then point to the two bodies, and then the ship. And if they don't get my meaning, I will literally put my helmet against theirs so we can have a little bit of sound carry and say, take the bodies into the ship. We'll be right behind you. And gesture at Wexy to get up and start heading for the ship.
Yeah, I think once they see the two bodies on the ground and they kind of see you with the shotgun over top, they're going to be like, man, like they're going to think to themselves like, ooh, this guy's pretty good. And so they're kind of just going to start picking up the bodies and just kind of dragging them. One person grabs the front end, one person grabs the feet, and they just kind of carry them up into the ship. Same thing with the other one. And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then you said you're going to take Wexy into the ship as well?
Yeah, we're gonna and get her.
We've got a brig, right? I'm looking at the deck plans. I thought I saw some kind of brig on here, but maybe not.
You know, I don't think so, but you can always use the lab.
We've got plenty of spare rooms. That's a fact.
That's true. We always have like one of the broom closets.
Well, for the moment, we can just sit her down somewhere, you know, where
The
broom
quiet
closet.
room.
There's not a lot of room, but we want to be able to talk to her and get what information we can out of her, and also actually take her suit off her and the two bodies. I want to see if they've got anything on them inside their suits
Yeah,
besides checking the suit pockets.
yeah, I would.
Could we separate the two survivors so they
Yeah,
don't?
I'm looking at deck A. There's 3
there's no grid.
science rooms, so I would say those can be used. I'm
Okay.
checking the other decks right now. It's taking a second to load because it's the first time loading it up. You have the cargo hold areas that Mason came out of on deck B. So that could be something as well. And then deck C, I think, is just
There's the quarantine area on deck.
Deck A? Or was it deck C?
I think it's deck
C.
C.
Deck C, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 2 quarantine like area rooms there. Oh well, I think one is the actual quarantine area, and then the other one is like the entry point.
Yeah. So the quarantine area, yeah, one's an entry point, and so basically it'd be a quarantine area, both of them in the same room, or you take them upstairs to deck A and kind of put them in the science A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3, and then that can kind of be a makeshift.
I have a feeling Isaac probably has all 3 of those science rooms filled to the gills with science stuff, knowing Isaac.
Well, the first 2 are, but the third one is unoccupied. However,
Okay. Well,
there might be a lot of things that they can get their hands on. So, I like maybe the boardroom, right? Because it's empty. There's chairs to time them down to, and then there's like that's my out of character recommendation.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. Ultimately, you guys can get them wherever you want. There's going to be a couple rooms. So let's go ahead and make this active for deck A. Always ensure that you guys can see the map and stuff, because as I added all these ones, I thought I clicked everything, but you never know.
Yeah, it's up.
So I
I've
will.
only
one
just
in the
noticed
empty
how far
science
the,
room.
Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead,
go
Paul.
ahead.
I was gonna say I've only just now noticed how far the galley is from the mess hall, and that makes no sense. But sorry, I was just like, wait a minute, they should be next to each other. Anyway,
Yeah.
we can sit with one of them in the mess hall, and then the other one,
Let's put one in
Yeah.
the quiet room and one in the science room that's empty.
I am going to move you all onto the map. So you all should be on the map now, with the exception of Isaac, Isaac, I will still put your character. I'll put it outside here.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then so that's them. Let's get Flash. Flash will be with one of them. Gadget will be with the other. I'm going to say Ellis and Kyrian are going to be down there. Mason is going to be with Stanley. And then basically Morgan and Riley are kind of going to be doing their own thing after this. So, all right. Did you want them in the mess hall or the quiet room?
Put them in the quiet room.
Quiet room?
One in the quiet room, one in an empty science lab.
All right. We'll move it right there. There we go.
Since they're within close proximity of one another.
All right. So you have them all locked away. Let's go back to Isaac.
Yeah. So what do I see when I make my way towards the bridge of this small little ship?
Basically, it's a very tight ship. It has a lot of makeshift modifications to it. So, for example, you notice, like, obviously in this ship, it's a much larger ship. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of cryopods and everything else. And that one, it is very tight. There's very little wiggle room. And you see, like 4 cryopods, like 2 stacked on 2, and they're like jimmy rigged to the wall, and it's probably not that great of a solution. It works, obviously, but you can just tell they hired someone who was cheaper to come in and do it.
Yeah, definitely aftermarket stuff.
And then let me pull up those vehicles, because I do have it in here. You do see that little light turret that's on there. You will notice there are two little orbital mines in there as well. And then they have some sensor decoys listed in there as you go
God.
through. And then it's got just a little bit of a cargo bay. That cryo deck that I was telling you about, where it's kind of rigged. Basic air scrubbers. And then it also has a salvage crane attached to it.
Okay.
And then obviously basic supplies that you'll find in any ship, some mechanical pieces, some food, a couple of med packs. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary when you're searching the ship and going through all that stuff.
So at this point, having inspected everything, but you said there were 4 people or 4 pods, but the ship carried 5 people.
I didn't.
Yeah, the 5th one being the sick guy.
They said that, not me.
Says- Well, in that case, Ice is going to make his way towards the bridge, find a console that like the captain's console or the navigation officers, and plug in his diagnostic device and see if he can't download important data or bring up information of a black box, transponder signals, something that might tell them more about the ship, the crew, or the other ship that they delivered the sick senior brother to.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a Comtech roll.
Okay, so that's gonna be. Do I still have the tunnel vision stress response?
I'm gonna clear chat log real quick just to clear all that. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a passive because we're not in combat. I'm gonna say everyone can take their stress down 1, but make sure this is a passive roll. So you're not gonna add any stress die.
Okay. I'm gonna add 2 dice because of my intense focus talent. I'm also gonna add +2 because of my Seegson diagnostic device. So give me a +4 in this.
Okay.
That's 4 successes.
Yeah. So essentially, you plug in, and you have basically all the information that you want's going to be there. It's going to basically state their kind of flight plan, and it's mainly from here, and then basically coordinates, and all it says is Ackbar in the system, and then it's going to have a couple of other coordinates here and there. Nothing really tied to them. And then a couple of planets here and there that are further away, like months ago they went to. But the immediate path is going to be to Ackbar.
So these guys aren't cultists, but from what I'm seeing of the weapons mounted on the ship, the jury-rigged nature, where they've been, and these guys just seem to be pirates.
Maybe.
So
Maybe
he's
not.
gonna download this information. Make sure that the mother unit is disconnected, so it won't activate. Probably just by unplugging a cable, or just by making sure that it doesn't fly off or do anything that the
I'm gonna
crew
say
might
this
try to do
this
remotely.
smallest ship I don't think has a
Yeah, it's not going to have a mother,
AI.
but it's
This is a
it's
shuttle.
yeah, it's very much it's just a light vessel. It's basic. It's not going to be able to do too much with it. It's your very rudimentary ship, usually not meant for long flights or journeys.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it
So
can,
yeah.
but it's just going to take a bit.
So he's download this data, shuts off the console, and he's gonna look for any notebooks or cassette tapes, something that might contain any extra data he can bring back to the ship. And then after that, he's gonna return to the vessel.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there's really nothing of note. You might see some like personal notes and stuff, but there's nothing really um, of any significant value that stands out as you go through it.
Okay.
Awesome. And then you're gonna make your way back to the ship.
Yep.
Okay. So I will bring you on board, and I will put you right there, and then you are free to move about the cabin. So I guess William, you are in the briefing room with. Well, who would you like to be in the briefing room? Well, who would you like to be with? William, would you like to be briefing or interrogating? Sorry, Greg or Wexy?
Wexy, because we
Okay.
already have established such a rapport.
All right, I'm gonna switch Sam. Since Sam got Greg, I'm gonna have you with Wexy. All right, you are in there, and then you have Flash with you. She is very like she's tied up, and she's sitting there, and just kind of that like disgruntled, like angry, like looking at you, scowling type thing.
I just, I sit there for a while, just letting her stew. And then I'll finally say, so you want to just tell me what this is all about, or are you going to drag it out?
She just looks at you and turns and just goes, and she's like thinking about it, and she's just like, we were just making a quick buck.
How? By controlling a bunch of people? What were they supposed to do? Mine for you?
No, they were just some idiots who were just following us, and it was Sean's idea to go on the cult idea and then get people to come with and then get their money. And then after a little bit, we set up a little colony for them, and then we take off after an incident, and we pass away with their money, and then they get to stay there in their happy little planet.
So you were soon going to be abandoning them and keeping all their life savings that they had turned over to you guys, right?
We weren't abandoning them. We were giving them exactly what they wanted. They wanted freedom from everything. Freedom from
Yeah, but
corporations. They were going to get that.
You were gonna leave and not come back, right?
Yes, that's how that works.
Abandoning. That's abandoning them.
That's semantics.
Oh, semantics. And you say Sean was the mastermind behind this plan?
Yes.
So you're gonna now, is Sean the guy that we dragged out of the ship, or is he the dead guy outside?
He's
Greg is
one of
the
the
guy we
ones.
pulled out of the ship.
I don't know that.
He goes, she goes,
Yeah, right.
yeah, he's the one that you guys shot and killed when we had zero intention of actually killing any of you.
Oh,
We were
you were
just
just gonna rant. You were just gonna sell me off as a slave or something, and I'm supposed to feel bad that somebody ventilated him?
Oh, boo-hoo. You guys came in and actually stole our planet, our rights that we had to this. That's what we are going to sell. And you guys came in and took it anyway. Who's the thieves here?
You were gonna leave this planet and never come back. You weren't gonna cash in on it.
Yeah, we were. We're going to let them have their planet, and then we're going to take that data and we're going to sell it.
Well, you know, Your little
Have our cake
colony,
and eat it.
your colony, unfortunately took its own life, all of them, and I don't know if any of them have next of kin anywhere, but they could very easily be looking at civil suits, taking whatever you might have squirreled away somewhere else. Um, I would, I would I would advise you right now that the only way you're going to have any chance at seeing, getting out of a prison while you still can feed yourself is to come clean on everything when we get you to an actual colony with authorities, because that's where you're headed next.
Do you know where we're at? I've been in those jails and I've been in those prisons. They're still 1,000 times better than out here fighting for my life every single day. So yeah, go ahead and send me in one of those cushy jails. It'll be heaven. Food 3 times a day, nice warm blankets. I get some nice calls every once in a while. And then once I figure out who the players are, I can get whatever I want in there. So yeah,
3 hots and a
threaten me
cot.
with
That's
hospitality.
that's all. If all you need is 3 hots and a cot, then we're probably done here. Um, we'll decide if we're going to actually put you into cryo sleep before we take off. But for now, um, just rest easy. We're going to keep her essentially tied to a chair until we figure out exactly what we're going to do.
And then she's like, oh, thank God, put me in the cryosleep. That way I don't have to listen to you ramble anymore. And then that is kind of where she leads off. And so we'll go over to Sam and Greg. And he's sitting there and he's the polar opposite. He is like freaking out. He's nervous. He is sweating. He's like crying. And he's like, "This, I didn't do anything."
All right. So your name's Greg, right?
Yes.
All right, Greg. I'm Sam. I'm the captain of this ship.
Am I in trouble?
Oh yeah, you're in a lot of trouble.
Oh.
So why don't you just come clean? I've got my recorder. Click. It's recording. Tell me everything that you can tell me. What the heck were you doing? What was going on?
It was simple. They hired me. I go and I fly the ship and we take whatever supplies or people, we drop them off at the planet. I get a paycheck and then we get out of there. Like it's simple.
So simple. What about there was something I heard about another ship that you had rendezvoused with, and Sam has heard that somewhere along the line, as I recall.
Another ship. I don't
So
know
what
what you're like. We docked at the space station, but I don't know anything about a
space
ship.
station? Space station. Where was the space station at?
The coordinates are in the ship. It's
All right, so
the
we have
Ackbar
somebody over on
Station.
the ship. Okay, we've got somebody over on the ship getting a data dump. So we'll be able to figure out where your ship has been, all its ports of call, etc. So is there anything else you want to tell me?
I
And-
I saw you guys like come out, and I have no idea why they had hostages and stuff and grabbed and like guns
Okay.
and stuff. I just panicked and I was trying to get out of there as fast as possible and booting up the ship. And next thing you know, you guys somehow already hacked my door. Like, do you realize how complex that door is? And you guys bypassed it in 2 seconds. Like,
Well,
that's
Isaac is a clever fellow. Trust me. He's a very clever fellow. Not only is he a clever whiz with electronics, apparently, he's also a clever scientist. So, and he'll be over shortly. And he may even have some questions for you, because I know he's an inquisitive mind. So is this the first time you've ever done anything like this? That is to say, been a participant in murder? You're an accessory, you
you
know.
pretty sure you killed the people I was contracted by. I don't know how that makes me an accessory to murder.
All right. You got me there. But it was self-defense.
You guys
apparently
shot
there was in this. Okay, so
first.
Sam doesn't actually even know really what went down inside because William's comms cut out, right? So all we know is that William comes out with some people who are holding him hostage, and we react. And what exactly did they say to us? They told us to stand down or give up, didn't they? I'm trying to remember. That was like a whole week ago.
Yes. I believe
Yeah.
they said.
So they said something that was semi-threatening-ish.
I completely forgot about. I remember you saying, "Shoot them, take them out," and
Yes,
then
right.
William. They were trying to tell William to keep going, and then he couldn't hear, and then took advantage of that.
All right, so it's the frontier. So Greg, it is the frontier. I realize that sometimes things get heated, and sometimes bullets fly when maybe it should have been words flying. But one of my crew was being held hostage, so you have to understand I reacted in a way that I thought was appropriate. He was held hostage at gunpoint, and we had no idea what your people were going to do. So, self-defense on my part, but that's now behind us. So, we're trying to get information from you that can figure out like you didn't have any accomplices, right? I mean, there's not another ship that you were working with. There are no
No,
other people that you were working with.
I was the one. I was the one who was contracted, and I just fly him back
Okay.
and forth every so often.
So you're the
Go,
pilot.
yeah. Go to.
Yeah,
Well, I
okay.
would say
I
go talk to
understand.
Sean, but
Right. I'm
he's
just the
laying on the
pilot.
ground. But no,
Okay.
it was Sean, and then it was his girlfriend Nafara, who's also laying next to him, and then Wexy. She was just a sly snake. She can say whatever, and just she gets underneath your skin, and next thing you know, it's just like you're doing something, and you're just like, well, how did I get into this situation? She's one that you need to watch out for.
When was the last time you were here?
Probably a month or so ago.
And when you were here last, what was the condition of this colony?
Everything.
Did you even have contact with them, or did you stay on the ship while your compatriots went and talked to the colonists?
No, I went in. It was weird, because they kept calling me like brother,
Okay.
and I found that just very weird to begin with. But I'm not going to get involved. They paid me. It's hard to find work out here, and everything seemed fine. And then when I left, like we all got on the ship. It was the same three, and we hopped on, and essentially, I mean, they seemed really happy, and we're laughing, and we're making some jokes, but I could only make out so much from the pilot seat. But that's really.
What is our detect lies? Not that I believe he's lying. I believe he's telling the truth, honestly. But I feel like rolling some dice. You know how
Yeah,
it is. We're playing the
absolutely.
game, and I want to roll some dice.
Let's see.
Is that an empathy? That's got to be an empathy thing. Is that like a manipulation versus manipulation? He's not even trying to manipulate me.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just
like if he's
Yeah.
trying to manipulate you, it's manipulation versus manipulation.
right.
Otherwise, I think it's just straight empathy.
I would say would it be observation or straight
Observation?
empathy?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think?
Observation, yeah.
Tell
I
you
think
what,
observation.
Can we do like a mix in? Well, no, let's just go with observation.
I'll say
I'm
do
fine
whichever
with
one
that.
you feel like doing. I will let you roll however you feel. If you think it's empathy, if you think it's manipulation, if you think it's observation, I'll let you choose. Dealer's choice.
Okay, I'm since my empathy and manipulation are really high, I'm going to go with wits and observation instead, just
Okay.
for fun, because I'm trying to
Yeah.
gauge him from an observational sort of way. And Let's see what we get.
It's one
Uh,
stressful situation, apparently.
yeah, it's a very stressful situation. I was going to say,
well, we
You
were
don't-
just in combat.
well, I was just
It
going
is
to say,
stressful
this is a
situation.
passive roll for sure. So that's where, if you gained a stress point on that one, you can go ahead and remove it.
I
This
can
was
go ahead and
supposed to
take one
be,
off.
so, but we will stick with the 4, in keeping with the reason that it's passive. But yeah, you don't get any sense of anything.
All right. Well, for now, I'm just going to. Who's with me?
You have Gadget, unless anyone else wanted to
Gadget's
be in
with
the room with them. And I would say these two conversations are kind of going on simultaneously.
All right, I'm gonna get on the comms, and I'm going to call the marshal. I'm going to say, Marshal, when you're done talking to
Yes.
your prisoner there, let's compare notes.
All right. I will be right there.
Okay.
And I will head over to join.
All right. So you two can go to the mess hall and then kind of
Let's go
exchange
to the
notes
mess
there.
hall. Let's go
Um,
to the mess hall.
we are going
Somebody
to
watch Greg here.
Yeah, you got Gadget there.
Gadget, keep an eye on him. He's not going to do anything, but keep an eye on him anyway. Give him a cup of coffee if he wants one.
Stanley, you're with Mason. What are you typing in?
So kind of like filling out the incident report and everything like that. And I'm going to be calling into, is it
Kyrian.
Who is the, and basically saying that as far as all parties are concerned, the colony itself was abandoned, and there should be no claim rights for this, and that any loose ends on this should be tied up.
And as you say that, the door opens up and she walks in and she goes, "I'm glad to hear that." And she kind of takes her comm and she kind of puts it down and kind of like flicks the switch off. And she goes, "I assume everything went well and went smoothly, and there's no issue of concerns regarding ownership?"
I had since I have the said it's a copy of the ownership rights and everything like that. Basically stating it's like, since this is a off the books acquisition and everything like that, none of this would be able to hold up in a court of law, and this would have been an illegal operation to start with. Once we fully register it, it will be as if we fully owned it from the start.
And then she kind of thinks for a second, like as she's pondering what you just said, and she goes, "Thank you." And then she kind of passes you a data chit and she goes, "Here's the information for our legal team in the event that you need any assistance with making sure the paperwork goes without a hitch as you go through this. And if there's anything else that comes up from a legal perspective, you have access to them."
Mm-hmm. The last thing is how you wish to interpret our trespass protocols.
In what sense? In us trespassing on them, or anyone else trespassing on us?
Trespassing on our property.
Go ahead, file the paperwork. Someone's going to have to fight the claim. I assume you've already checked the records and there's nothing in the system that states that it belongs to anybody.
That is correct. As far as we are concerned, they were trespassing on our property. We defended ourselves, and there can I have not filled in a total survivor count yet. I can put that at 0 if you wish.
No need to lie about that. We'll be passing them over or passing them out. We'll see what transpires. But ultimately, get the paperwork filed, send it out, stake the claim, send the coordinates. Do not screw this up. Ellis will be most pleased when he hears about this. I'm sure he'll be over here to greet you and thank you very energetically shortly.
I'm sure he will.
And with that, she kind of just turns and walks back out. Franz, what are you doing?
Franz, after everybody was brought onto the ship, I think headed to the bridge. Just sort of decompressing a little bit, but also keeping an eye on any sensors or anything like that. Just seeing if anybody else is coming to join this party.
Okay. Yeah, I would say the sensors are all out. I'd say you get everything swinging out wide. You even have Mother doing some checks as well to assist you. Everything's clean. Everything's scot-free. You're not getting any readings from the ship. Isaac surprisingly did a great job shutting it down. And so nothing out of the ordinary comes up.
Cool. Yeah. So I think, I just let the professional do their thing, questioning and figuring out what the next steps are.
Okay.
But other than that, just sort of like he just wants to be by himself for a little while. So he's probably got his little D20.
Okay. Yeah.
Flipping it in the air, rolling it, whatever.
So you'll get
Just thinking.
Yeah, so that the D20, if you want to use it, obviously you get -1 stress.
Yeah.
And then I would say you're able to reduce another stress because you're in there, you're by yourself, you're kind of doing your own thing. And the amount of time it takes to go through these interrogations and everyone else to kind of do their thing, I would say you'd be able to reduce one more stress as well.
Okay.
So then we'll hop over to Isaac. So Isaac, you get back on the ship. Anything that you want to do in particular before kind of relaying any information?
I mean, aside from putting away his suit, I guess not. I guess he'd like grab the data pad, I assume the hard drive from the console, whatever storage medium he would use to carry this information, even if it's so much as writing down coordinates on a notepad. He'd get on an intercom and contact the captain to let him know that he's returned, he's downloaded some data and coordinates, and he wants to share it with him just to see, like, consult further plans of action, and also give him reports on the ship itself.
Okay. Yeah, and then we'll just segue real quick. Sam and William, anything that you guys want to share um outside? Obviously, you both heard each other's interrogation real life. Anything else that you guys wanted to compare before moving everyone to the briefing room?
good.
Okay.
Seems pretty
Then,
cut and dry.
yeah. Okay. So then we can go ahead and uh we're in the meeting room. uh
There are no tokens for visibility.
yeah. Oh, good call. I did not configure this one. There you go.
Oh, I really like that. Look at that in the lights. I like that.
Oh, that
Nice.
brings back memories.
Yep. So, let me center it up. There we go. All right. So yeah, you guys are all in the briefing room, and you're all going to be sharing this information, the pieces that you guys are kind of gleaned. Anything that you guys want to discuss further, i.e.,
I'd love to hear what Isaac has to say.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah. So Isaac, having got out of the suit, I guess he's have we taken how much time has passed since he got on? I guess he took like a couple minutes in a safe place to like reduce all his stress, hopefully.
I would say you could reduce one right now.
All right. Yeah. So he's gonna grab his notes and just give a report. So by now, I believe we've all realized is that the people that came on that ship were not members of this cult. I've seen enough hardware on there to make a colonial marine blush, which makes me think they're pirates or some other form of well-armed group. No matter what they call
No, they're-
themselves, it's evident that they've been to a variety of planets. Now, there's one set of coordinates that merely says Ackbar, whether that is the ship or a station that they may have docked with to drop off their quote unquote senior brother, which I believe we all know is to be the man named Sean Wilson, likely is where they dropped him off. In any case, I have these coordinates, transponder signals, and everything else I've managed to recover.
Sam has to say it. Ackbar, you know it's a trap.
I'm
All
not
right,
familiar.
it's been said. Okay, we've gotten over that one. All right,
No.
so was there any information about you've got information on where Ackbar is?
Yes, I have the coordinates.
Right.
Are they in the same system, Vol, or are they in a different system?
I will actually show you if you actually let me pull up the map. Where is it? It's not there. Let me switch over to here.
Oh, it's definitely on the galactic
The
map.
star map?
Yep, I was just going to pull up the star map. Okay.
There it is.
Make sure you all can see. Yep, it's all activated. Okay. So, you all are right here.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we started here, made it here, had a fun little pit stop, got to here, and it's kind of like right where it's going. It's like right here. It's about 1 FTL away. It's roughly right around there.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna say it's about 1 sector away. I'd say sector. It's in between here and the Eridani system. I don't see any records from it on the official map, so it must be some deep space station or a system we haven't yet put on there. In any case, I believe it's important that we contact the ICC on this matter, as this might regard a potential breach in quarantine. Out here in space, especially since it's not part of a official colony, any sort of sickness, especially if they've had any time within this pressurized environment, could be some sort of dangerous xenobacterial phage or virus of some kind.
Did the data that you download have his ICC registration?
Did it?
Yeah, it would have had. He's just all of his information. He's just kind of a scrappy pilot. He gets by. He gets some, he's gotten into a few scuffles here and there in terms of getting pulled over by the law for speeding. DUI. Flying without his proper space lights on. Um, just normal things. It just makes him not a ideal candidate, but it doesn't make him like a felon or anything like that. He's just kind of a frontier guy. Everything seems to kind of check out.
Yeah, so that's just kind of like one of the things that you can kind of like check against records because if the ship is registered with like the ICC, then he is like at least a legitimate it's a legitimate vessel and not a pirate vessel.
My suggestion is, seeing as this fits our original flight plan, we should stop by this station to verify exactly what Ackbar is. Perhaps it's something that was glossed over in some charts. Stations like these aren't just set up in the middle of deep space. They likely have an orbital body they orbit around, if this even is a station itself.
I'm all for
I'm not
heading
sure
to
that's a
Ackbar.
good idea.
Well, judging by your past performance, I'd say you'll be able to handle any resistance met along the way.
Um, all right, this crew, with the possible exception of the pilot, and I'm still not willing to completely concede that they're basically con artists who are more than willing to get their hands dirty. They were planning on, taking me off planet with them, and then once they were clear, they were going to just sell me off essentially into slavery. Um, Not that because there's no one who's going to ransom me; they're just going to get what they can for me. And as far as I can tell, they just led these people along and brought them their planet, pretended to be the leaders of this cult, and their ultimate plan was to eventually, as the people would give them all their savings and whatever they had, they were just amassing a war chest and were eventually going to, for lack of a better terms, fake their own deaths and leave these people here and just make off with their ill-gotten gains and probably try and start it up again somewhere else in the galaxy. Um, if they made regular runs to this Ackbar, whether that's the name of a person, a space station, a planet, who knows? Um, I would I would venture that it's probably a place where they would find, it's like a hub. I would bet it's a hub for criminal activity, and we got lucky. We got lucky there were so few of them. If we go poking around that kind of nest and it's bigger than the ship that's out there, it's probably chock full of people who we don't want to antagonize without serious firepower at our back. I
Then it's
at most I would say if you want to do a flyby and scan it and then get the hell out of Dodge, that might make sense before we take these two to an actual colony or place where we can turn them over to the authorities and give a full detailed report.
well, seeing our flight plan, which takes us nearby the anchor point station near our destination of Ironsides, I'd like to give a suggestion on how we can proceed with this. I assume that you have contacts within the Colonial Marshal Bureau. Perhaps we can simply send a request to the Colonial Marines so they can send in a team to investigate these coordinates. After all, we have many pieces of evidence to support a certain presence there. And then I suggest we keep these two within our trial bay. We have more than enough to keep them asleep until we reach anchor point, where then we can deliver them to the appropriate authorities. This way, our flight plan is not changed, and they're prevented from causing any sort of problems along the way.
Captain Blackthorn, what do you want to say?
So, first question: is their ship small enough that it can fit inside the hangar bay of our ship?
No,
question.
not so lucky.
Ah. All right. There goes that plan. Otherwise,
there is a
Good.
possibility of basically anchoring their ship to the hull.
I was also thinking, since we have a second ship of sorts, someone could take them. I hate to send someone off on their own with two people and have these people, taken to the police and dropped off and then have that person rendezvous back with us, but that's also a possibility.
Well, instead of sending anybody out, why don't we just use there were several rigged cryo beds in that ship. If we just keep them within there and tell the authorities about the coordinates they can land, assess the situation, retrieve the people, and then ensure that this place is secure for our investment team.
Oh, that ship is legitimate salvage, though. We have to take it someplace so we
No,
can.
technically it's not. It's not technically
Uh,
salvage. We have taken
it,
possession of it, and I don't want to get into the legal but the thing I'd like to point out is, um, for whoever is going to go visit this station, whether it was going to be us or a team from colonial marshals or marines or whatever, using that ship to get close would make a lot of sense because they'd see it. Oh, we know these guys.
And we've got their pilot who can, in theory, tell us all of the things that he did when he came here before so it doesn't look suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my feeling was that if we can't, either attach that ship to our hull or somehow slave its controls to ours so it follows us like a puppy. Um,
It
I
doesn't
can
have a
say, yeah,
mother online. I don't believe it's sophisticated enough to do so.
okay,
Coordinating travel through space like that is inadvisable.
okay. Well, you guys are experts. I'm not. So I I was thinking actually that not only we take that ship with us to whatever, for lack of a better term, civilization we're going to go to and report all this. I was thinking actually we could take all of the bodies in that ship. While we still have the video, it's not as difficult to transport all those remains as evidence with a second ship.
I have a question for our GM.
All right.
Would Franz have heard of Ackbar or any of this sort of stuff?
You would not have heard of Ackbar.
Okay.
so Stanley's looking through all of the records and documents and everything like that, and basically comes to the conclusion that this uh, a trip to this Ackbar Station with potentially bringing these people along with is uh, not in the best interest of the company financially, and poses a bit too much risk. So he's going to so he's going to suggest that under trespass protocols, we have already acted within our rights to our claim. Uh, the individual known as what was her name?
Wexy?
Wexy. Yeah,
I was like, Wexy or Kyrian?
yeah, Wexy. The individual known as Wexy uh, is can be considered to have been uh, brought down or whatever within the fight. However, the pilot was it Greg?
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah. Did Greg have a last name?
Nope, just Greg.
No. Yeah. The pilot known as Greg Smith
Dope.
is, however, registered with the ICC, and anything pertaining to them could potentially be tracked. So, within the best interest of the company, I would suggest counting Wexy among all of those who are lost, and then hiring one Greg Smith to deliver the bodies and evidence to the proper authorities. Uh, Obviously, having him sign all NDAs involved, so that should he decide to uh, speak against our claim, the full letter of the law would be on our side, and he would not be able to more or less uh, take a shit without having to speak to a lawyer first.
All right, Stan, let's back up a bit. What was your quote about Wexy again?
They fall under the actions of company trespass protocols, which we had already exercised with the other two.
What are you gonna do, Spacer?
No, we're not in space yet.
Yeah, that doesn't fly. Sorry.
No,
Well, I mean, it
That's
could fly.
I'm sorry. I
Game
I will
Master.
I will actively resist executing prisoners.
Yeah, same
Yep.
here.
I was gonna
Same
say,
here.
Then we should just follow through with keeping them within the landed ship's cryo bay and let them stay there. It has enough power to support the life support systems, and we'll make sure to
But
enable a transponder.
I hate to admit it, especially since I have Stan listed as my rival on my character sheet. I hate to admit it, but I think Stan does have an interesting point if I understand the not nefarious part of his plan that included murder. Were you saying that we would hire Greg to fly the ship to a place where the bodies could be processed and in theory Wexy could be handed over to the authorities? But you didn't
In
say that
theory.
part. I added that part myself.
In theory, yes.
I do like that plan, actually. It gets them
And
out of
as
our hair. It
technically,
gets,
as technically, she and Greg for Black Virgin would probably have to be officially be my prisoners. I could go on that ship.
which kind of goes back to the and then rendezvous back with us some other place.
We'll see.
But like
I
out
have a
of
feeling.
character wise, though, that might take you out of the party for the time being, though.
Well, speaking out of character, I'm actually probably going to be withdrawing shortly from the game. So this might be a good way for me to withdraw my character for now.
Yep. So we have 2 people who might have to drop, and then we are also potentially reaching out to 2 more people who might be able to join in. So we'll see.
Okay.
But
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if that ends up like working out like in that way, then yeah, then that's that's fine. I was just like, oh, that would make your character have to leave, but you're like, oh, we'll have to possibly leave anyway. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, because we originally said, to the new year, and then obviously I've learned a tremendous amount playing this game and how long it takes to get through things. And so for me, this is where I've expanded how long it takes to get through each part. I was thinking as I designed it, of course, it's going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I forget about 1, 2, J, L, semicolon, and everything else in between.
Yeah.
So that's where it's one of those things where, like I said, we originally only said till New Year, and then we'll adjust it from there. So same thing as always. If something comes up, you need to drop, we can drop you out, pull you back in, pull someone else. So we'll just adjust as needed. All right. So the last thing was Greg, the prisoner, the bodies, going somewhere.
Yep.
Sounds like a go ahead,
Yeah, so I
Stan.
have the whole thing. It's like I already have the paperwork ready for this one Greg Smith to sign off on, and then they can work as a contract transporter for the company, moving all of the evidence of our claim to the proper authorities.
All right. So are you going to be having this conversation with Greg? Are you going to bring him into the room?
I was going to go talk to him individually.
Okay. So anything else, or do we want to segue to that?
I'm not segue.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go with him.
Okay. So Sam's going to tag along with Stanley to go read his Miranda rights to Greg.
That's William's job.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Greg's obviously still strapped to his chair, sitting there with Gadget. Just calm down a little bit now that I feel like he kind of like got his point across to Sam, that he's explained that you guys are the ones who murdered people. He didn't murder anybody.
So yeah, bring up all the papers. Like, please
I bring him a cup
state
of
your
coffee.
And he's like
All pilots like coffee.
trying to like reach for it because he's still tied up and there's no way he can get to it.
Gadget.
This is Gadget's
un-
with us, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gadget. Gadget. Loosen his bonds so the man can drink a cup of coffee.
All right. Yeah, so I would imagine you would say everything, and Greg would just sit there and just go, have you never...
Yeah, it's like, state your name, please confirm your ICC registration number for your ship, yada yada yada.
And he's like, yeah, that's easy. It's weird. I mean, I appreciate it, like to to be stuck in this weird scenario, and then now being hired, and this is just a lot. So where do you want me to take them?
Well, first, before like that, I want to confirm the location of this Ackbar place, what it is, all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's you could pull it up in the ICC registration. It's a little bit of a weird nuance place. I guess it used to be like a US CMC kind of colonial marine like facility, and then kind of just went defunct and then sold off to public auction, and then uh you know got bought, and now it just kind of has a path that it floats, and all you have to do is just make contact with them, and then you'll have once you get registered with them, you'll be able to kind of see where there are anytime you're within the area. So like on my ship, I have the corresponding codes, and then all you have to do is just turn it on, and you'll be able to see where their signal's at. It's just a simple thing. It's nothing complex because they kind of move a little bit. They don't exactly rotate around a planet or anything. It's really trippy like that, but
So it's
it's
basically like just like an outpost in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, but I mean, it's great. There's not much crime. Everything's well maintained. I mean, everything's pretty lock and key over there. I can drop them off there. They have a marshal's office.
Really?
All right. Well, I will need you to sign these documents saying that you're in our employee. Here, this is an NDA, standard NDA, saying that you will not, you know, speak of this, that, and the other thing, and trail off into all of the legal jargon, all that other kind of stuff, and uh, end off in saying is all like, "I'm sure you know what all of this implies. Should you break the contract?"
And he's just like, I'm just happy to be done with this. I want to go back to my simple halls and not have to deal with whatever just transpired. And he's just kind of signing off.
Okay. And then I'll kind of like hit like a little note on my pad and whatnot, basically saying to save, triple encrypt, and put in and send off to you know le- proper legal authorities, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And so Greg will just be like, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Like, I get to go back home, and I don't can just forget this ever happened, and get a paycheck on the way back. Like, thank you. All right.
And I just kind of like nod. I just kind of nod and look at Sam. Just like, all right, looks like we're done here.
Um, Greg, you are aware that Wexy will be in cryo the entire time, right? You are not to let her out.
Yeah, trust me,
All right,
not an issue.
just making sure. Okay. All right.
And then he's just sitting there. He's like,
Could I
oh,
have a brief word? Could I have a word with Greg?
yeah. So would you be in the
Yeah,
room
hey,
with them? Or, because I would imagine if
I
you're.
I would no, no, I didn't say I
Okay.
was going with them, so I'm not there, so but then I had a
Mhm.
thought, and I come in as they're finishing up.
Okay.
So if you guys wanna hang, I'm not gonna say, "Get out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
in fact, I was thinking maybe of even going to get you, but since you're here now, I'm going to stay
Mhm.
here.
yeah, so, Greg, you at a minimum, you're going to have to file a statement with the Colonial Marshals Service. You might even be called to testify in court. Is that going to be a problem?
Not at all. Like, sorry, let me pull up the notes real quick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like Helena, she runs I'm sorry, Miss Ackbar. Do not say I said that. Miss Ackbar runs a tight ship over there, and trust me, if there's one thing she does not like is unruleness, people who don't follow the rules, and people who don't keep to their word.
So Miss Ackbar runs this place you took the ship to and from, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
what exactly is it? Is it like a space station? Is it a colony on a planet?
yeah, it's a fully functioning space station. It's used to be some colonial marine station thing I've heard, and then I mean, honestly, it's got some decent firepower on there. I don't know if it works or not, but I've seen the turrets turn. Fortunately, they haven't fired. They do have an old colonial marine ship. I do know they use that in the event of pirates or something. They use it for deterrence. Um, but yeah, it's just a facility that I heard she bought somehow, some way, and it's got everything you could want. It's got inns, it's got restaurants, it's got a casino, it's got
It,
hydroponics, a good working
it's
reality.
it's but it's not officially associated with anything with colonial administration in any. She's the top dog, right?
Yeah, I think she worked for like some colonial organization or something. I don't know. We don't see her that much.
Mhm.
Somebody look her
There's
up
a
in the
lot of different.
Yeah,
database.
so it's essentially the galaxy's Port Royal.
Oh, I think
It,
he did
Now,
say
I don't
it's
think Greg
registered
will
with
get that
the
reference,
ICC.
but
So
yeah, so it's but it's a free port, but it's not a pirate port. And that's basically what he
it's
would
a
kind of
free
get
port.
across is like,
Yeah, perfect.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I was.
registered. It's
Yeah,
got all the proper protocols. They
you
just
don't
like
want
to,
to go messing around there.
yeah, and it's one of those like they don't give it out the coordinates freely. That's why they don't post it. I don't know how they backdoored that deal. Apparently, she knows some people that she's able to do this. But once you get approved and on their list, then you will have access. How they keep that access, like knowing that someone wasn't hijacked or something or take advantage of it, I don't know. But
When
I
you've gone there, have they like is there like a code you send to say it's me again and everything's cool?
I just turn on my
Or do they just
transponder and then they
okay?
ping back, and then they send me the coordinates. I radio in, and then they go ahead and radio back. They tell me where to dock. I come in, I do my check-in just like anywhere else, and then I'm on my merry way.
And you go grab a drink or two and get some food and a rack.
Yeah,
Okay, great. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I was
yeah, I had
like,
a feeling that's about what this place was going to be.
yeah. So
Okay,
it's
thanks.
cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are stories, but I mean, what place doesn't have them? Like, used to be like Wayland Utani and doing some scientific, you know, whatever there, but the
Yeah,
lab is
right.
used as storage now, so I don't know how that would be possible. Like, but
Yeah, we would tread carefully if we went, but I don't think we're going anytime soon. Thank you.
so with that information again, like I'm going to actually look up the information on this station that is publicly available.
yeah,
Since it is registered with the ICC, you should be able to actually like look it up and everything like that,
yep,
and basically deem if this is a decent enough stopover on our path, because originally Stanley was thinking that this was just like some, you know, rickety,
Speedy
like,
dive.
yeah, city dive station and everything like that, especially with like Isaac's kind of altruistic, we need to, stop this disease kind of thing possibly from spreading. Stanley was all like, I'm not risking company assets on a wild goose chase. But if this is an actual, like, legitimate, like, stopover way station type thing where we can, like, potentially, like, resupply things, replace broken components, all that other kind of stuff, then uh yeah, Stanley can definitely see this as a
Viable option.
worth what? Yeah, viable stop off.
So when you pull it up, it is Ackbar Station. It says former USCMC outpost, designation USCMC designation, forward operating base 47 Sentinel Point. Originally served as a forward operating base. Gosh, I cannot speak. It was a mid-orbit marine installation positioned above a lightly chartered frontier corridor. Its purpose was straightforward: rapid deployment of colonial marine squads, monitor unregulated traffic, support for colonial expansion and threat assessment, and housed a small research lab that helped fund the station. And it was done by Turian Labs was the corporation that paid for that little bit of lab space. After 9 years, the frontier shifted, the station's value evaporated, funding dried up, maintenance crews were reassigned, and then the lab was shut down, and never made it into public logs about why it was shut down, what it did, why it was there. Another 8 years later, station was placed into a Category 3 reserve status, essentially mothballed. And then 2 more years later, the last Marine cycled out, leaving behind all the sealed wings, and all the systems were shut off and everything else. And then for 2 years, it drifted and bureaucratic purgatory. And then 2 years after that, it was auctioned off as part of a defense downsizing initiative. Buyer was listed as Ackbar Interstellar Logistics. No one had heard the company before. And the sale raised eyebrows because the company had no real public offices, no wide registry, like buying a whole bunch of things everywhere. It just kind of seemed like it popped up. Payment was made through a bunch of shell corporation accounts. And the buyer declined all interviews and inspections. Officially, it was renamed Ackbar Station. And unofficially, the name seems like it's just her last name. Today, it is just a patchwork of military steel and then civilian retrofits. So you have the military installation of what it was. Civilians have been living there. They've just kind of been patching on to it, keeping it up to date, and kind of working through it. And that is basically what you pull up when you go in there on the registry.
Okay.
Sam would like to look up Helen Ackbar to see if there's any records on her.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a Comtech roll. Because the other one's
Okay.
ICC. I want to know. Let's see how much I give you.
Comtech.
Oh, that is so nice. The system pushes the rollout if you're not on that screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Oh, that is so convenient. And Sam,
That's cool, definitely.
You are just not rolling well tonight.
Hey, but I am rolling.
I was actually also going to kind of look up the same thing on who Helen Ackbar is, like in my search.
Okay.
So
I would say go ahead and do it with a +1 passive.
okay. Skills contact. Where this fire this one. And
Okay. So Sam, when you do your research, you get Dr. Helen Ackbar, nickname the woman who bought a ghost. Get at the station because it just was floating there. Basically, she is a former colonial administrative strategist who specialized in frontier infrastructure planning. She spent 2 decades advising governments and megacorps on how to build, maintain, and, when necessary, abandon remote installations. She was brilliant, respected, and notoriously difficult to read. 5 years ago, she kind of vanished from public life, and then resurfaced. And then I'm going to say resurfaced when she purchased this station. And then I would say, Stanley, you would get, let's see, anything in here? I would say you would get some more, little bit more information, maybe from corporation information. Basically, she very, very rarely shows herself in public. She pretty much keeps to herself in her administrative suite in her wing. Whenever she goes anywhere, she has a small personal escort. People usually only see her once. She's calm, calculated, unnervingly polite, speaks very measured, deliberate sentences, never raises her voice, always seems to know more than she should. And then you get restricted, classified, restricted. Like you kind of see some stuff and it's standard stuff that you would see.
Redacted.
Yeah,
redacted,
like
redacted.
Where you've seen enough to where it's like, okay, obviously she was probably high up in the government, maybe some corporations or something, but nothing more to kind of go on from there.
Funny, like the way you're like describing it, and I just finished watching the second season of Fallout. I was all like, this is Robert House.
All right.
I don't know.
So with that information, what would you guys like to do next?
Yeah, so I will come back after looking through all of this stuff and basically tell captain and crew that after after looking over the information on the station, this seems like a good spot to lay over between destinations to basically resupply.
And you said there is an actual colonial marshal's office there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Official ICC sanctioned colonial marshal office.
That's
All right.
the rumor. All right.
Yeah, we'll go
Franz, would you like to plot a course to Ackbar Station?
I can do that.
All right.
It's pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's basically going to be 1 FTL away.
That's gonna be like 12 days for based on our ship's displacement drive charge.
Yeah, I was going to say, is
Yeah,
it 12 or is it 10 for this one? I can't remember.
I believe this is a Magellan class, so it should be 12 if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Magellan
Let
map.
me use my handy dandy navigator talent to roll Comtech to see if we can speed it up slightly.
All right. Yeah, the sheet for this says FTL rating 10 for the Magellan.
Oh, I must be thinking of the Helios.
Yeah, I think the other one's 12.
Oh, it's terrible.
You guys are now rolling after the combat's over.
Oh my.
All right, so no additional support. So it's basically
We will-
going to be 10 days for FTL.
Now, if I'm remembering right, anytime we go into FTL, we need to go into
Hypersleep.
right?
Yeah, chrono or cryo. Otherwise, you will have to roll for side effects.
Only after
Yeah.
the first few days, but we had to
Yeah.
avoid that.
Yes.
Yeah. If it was only going to be like a day, then yeah. But we're going 10 days in FTL, so yeah, we need to go down.
So the question would be, what are you doing with Greg, the ship, and the bodies? Because his ship is a lot slower, and it takes 20 days to go one FTL.
Is that ship equipped with like gravity locks on its like landing gear or anything like that, or no?
Would that be common, you think? It's like I don't think
Well,
so.
I guess it depends on I guess it depends on what kind of ship it is. If it's meant for any kind of maintenance, then yes. If not,
Yeah,
then
No,
probably
this is
not.
a light freighter.
What were they doing? If they were doing things that might have been a cause for them to have that kind of equipment.
Ooh, yeah,
But,
maybe they did have like a salvage crane, right?
right, they did kind of have some things that seemed a little outside of the box, so
I will leave it to you. If you think they have Gravlock on there, I'm not going to put it past it because I feel like it's not something that would be too expensive to have. Also, we're in
Oh,
very
it's just a matter. It's just a matter of like if it does have it, then we can like lock it to our ship and
yeah,
it
and then
travels along with us. But if not, then Greg just has to fly his own way, and he's under contract anyway.
yeah, I'm gonna say with the FTL ports, like if you were flying like a normal ship in space, I would say fine. But if you're going FTL, I'm gonna say no because now you're changing the whole ship's everything about the ship when you do
Right.
something like that. So I'm gonna say no from a warp drive perspective. So it would be you send him ahead of time and then you catch up to him and get there at the same time, or you try and get there early and see if they'll let you
Well,
in.
that would cause us to like basically wait around for 10 or so days while he puts around and everything like that. So
let's synchronize somehow that we arrive there
At the same time.
at the same time.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll say I'm guessing all you guys are sticking all the bodies in his ship and everything else.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very tight fit there. So yeah, you go ahead, you tighten everything up. You go ahead and you take the ship out. You get out there and you guys make your way, you figure out how to get there. Is anyone going to be sitting with Greg in his ship, or is he going to be? No, he's going to have to go cryo anyway, so there's no one to keep him company. I was going to say, but yeah, so everyone has to go to cryo then. All right.
Yep.
All right, so you all pull up at Ackbar Station. You manage to replicate the signal, and immediately when you come out of FTL and you're coming up, you kind of relay the signal, and no real response at first.
Okay. I guess if Captain, if you want to try hailing the station there.
Yes, we will try again.
Keep the sensors alert for weapons.
I think the a big red blaring sign would go off if we ended up having a lock on of any kind.
Right. I raised Greg and his ship. Greg, have you contacted the station yet?
And then Greg would kind of poke up and then go, no, I thought you all were sending the signal.
Well, we tried sending the signal, but we got no response.
And then he'll go, 1 second. And he kind of flicks it on. And he's like, yeah. Huh? No, it's me. I'm bringing someone in. No, yeah, I know. They were using my signal. I know I shouldn't have it. I know. Don't worry. They're fine. It's just okay. And he's like, just you can tell, like he didn't follow the proper protocol by giving the signal away. And so he's like
Well, we
sitting
kinda
there
just took
getting
it from him, so
yeah. And he's like, I completely understand. Whatever needs to be done, I understand. We'll be coming, and we have bodies on board that we need to report, and then we have a prisoner that needs to be checked in through the marshal's office. I think we have a marshal on board as well, and then yeah, I guess they kind of have some things to report as well from you'll have to talk to them. I'm sorry. I know. It's just I okay. And then he kind of gets back on the comm and he goes, "All right, they're gonna bring us in. They're gonna send the signal now. They might calm you um, for where to land and everything else. Just they're not happy with me. Maybe you because I didn't do the proper thing and calling it in, asking for
Okay,
permission.
well,
Oh, ugh. And
have you seen this happen to people before? And if so, what are the consequences?
they lose their transponder, they're kicked out, and then they're never allowed on again. Um,
So
I
much for being a free port.
and then I heard something about one time someone still tried to come in, and allegedly they used the turrets and made them no
I
more.
see. Okay.
But I don't know. That's just story I heard. And then at that point in time, your ship's going to get hailed, and it's going to be this is Ackbar Station. This is Ackbar Station. Come in over.
Ackbar Station, this is Captain Sam Blackthorne of the USCSS Arsenal, registry number 120464. We are requesting permission to dock.
Roger, what is your intention?
We are here to
resupply.
spend money. We're also here to make sure that the cargo that is being delivered by Greg actually makes it to its destination. And we have a colonial marshal on board who would like to speak with the colonial marshals on your station about some important matters.
And what is the purpose of you all being out here in your flight path? I don't assume that dead bodies and arresting somebody is part of those duties that are normal.
If I can Take over, Captain.
Be my guest.
We are a SCV research vessel under the was it Astral Ventures or was it
Aurora.
Aurora.
Aurora? I keep messing that up.
I know.
We are
I'm writing it down.
yes, I gotta write it down as well. We are an SCV research vessel in the purview of the Aurora Ventures. Sorry, Astral Ventures of the Astral Ventures Corporation. This is merely a stop towards our next destination. I am the chief scientist, only scientist, currently acting Isaac Grayson.
And there's just a
Isaac,
pause.
you don't have to tell him that part.
And there's kind of that pause on the end where they're hearing what you're saying and kind of going through and probably checking everything. And then they go, Aurora Ventures on the Arsenal. You are cleared to dock on Dock A. And this is what you all see.
Fancy.
Very impressive.
Yeah, so you do have access to everything. So this is the giant station that you see as you come into view. A is over here. And this is everything. Over here, you can see one of the old military ships. It's much smaller. You have turrets on both sides over here. And then you have hydroponics here. You have, the food growing.
Yep.
Over here's their engine, power, nuclear. Here is going to be the main circle hub. So over here is going to be the administrative wing. And then if you go in, zoom in, you have the Colonial Marshal's office here. You have stores here, restaurant, inn. You have apartments. You have a casino. You have high-end apartments. You have a club with VIP dance lounge. You have a concourse over here for comm centers, medical center, mother mainframe, and then over here, all the way in the top rightish, is where the Turian Labs is, which was the former lab that was rented out by the corporation. And over here is kind of like a small little, what used to be the former garrison, and is kind of used as their security point. They also have a small ship as well. So you all come up and dock into Dock A. And
so the way this is structured, are these rings where the elevators are meant to stack up on one another?
Yeah, so the elevators, they were just kind of generated there. I don't really have anything outside of that for you. I think it's probably just going to go up and just kind of add layers to it for storage, for apartments. But I don't have anything for these elevators at each point.
No, I just thought this
just-
ring here was on top of this one, this was in the middle, and this was on
Oh,
top.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it could be like that. Let's do that. Let's say this is at the bottom, this is at the middle, and this is at the top. Yeah, I like that.
Because this way, because it reminds me of the spire station of Sevastopol.
Yeah.
I imagine this is the internal layout, which is when the main big box is surrounding the whole thing. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, we can absolutely. That's a great way to lay it out. So yeah, this would kind of be the middle. This would kind of down here would be the bottom, and up here would be the top. So yeah, awesome. So you come over and you dock. Wow, I did a perfect landing job on the map there.
Good job, Franz.
Bravo.
I mean, Franz. I am going to do the token again because it's just going to get messy.
You should be able to also for moving it, if you because each screen has a grid, So if you set the map's grid to a smaller one, it'll automatically kind of make the tokens smaller and stuff like that as well for moving around and whatnot.
Yeah. That's where when I do gridless, it changes that.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, you all get off the ship and you are greeted very nicely by 2 security guards. They're very well dressed. Um, they look clean. They look they're not colonial, colonial marines or anything else, but they just look like they have a good proper uniform. Everything's clean, everything's uniform. And then in the middle, let me move these 2 guys out of the way because I forgot to change the token size, is Rowan Pike, who is here to greet you. And
I saw the picture. I was all like, "It's Holden."
Yeah. And so Rowan is there and he goes, "Welcome to Ackbar Station. I'm assuming this is the first time that you have been here?"
Yes, it is the first time we've been here. I am Captain Sam Blackthorn. We are glad that you have let us dock at your station, and we would like to avail ourselves of whatever sort of accommodations you have, maybe restock, resupply. Can you, or are you the person I need to talk to about these things, or can you take me to that person?
And he kind of looks at you and he goes, "That can be arranged as long as you all go through the proper boarding procedure. We will need the names, registration information to do a cross check across all of you to make sure that there is nothing outstanding. And then we will be able to verify what you have to say and then see what we are able to offer you."
Understood.
And so he goes, "What is the nature of your visit?" And he's just kind of going to go through the same standard questions, kind of going through everything. And then he's kind of going to go, "All right." And he's going to pull out a tablet and he's going to hand it to you, Sam. And he's going to be like, "These are all the rules and regulations while you are here on this space station. If you fail to abide by them, you will be held accountable, whether that is jail or forcibly removed from this station and barred from it. We do not allow any roughhousing, crime, any gang, any pirates, or any racketeering around these parts."
Oh darn!
Well,
And so he goes, "As far as procuring, you can talk to, we have some stores, we have some other things and offices that you'll be able to reach out to and talk to." And then basically kind of goes through the checklist. Everything pings good. He looks at everyone. He gets like the face snapshots of everybody, their information. He kind of like looks up. He looks around and he kind of pauses on Franz slightly, and then kind of just goes back down to his notes. And then he goes,
Get him.
"Yeah." And then he just goes, "Enjoy your stay here." And then the Rowan and the 2 security guards just about face and head out, and one of them kind of stations himself like right here, and he's kind of standing duty there for the day. And then Rowan and the other security guard kind of just disappear after that.
well, let's go get drunk.
Yeah.
You guys go right ahead. I'm gonna report in.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
All right. So as you come around the corner, you realize right here are 4 more security guards sitting right there as well. So that was going to be your welcome party if you did not agree. So you can already tell this place is very well guarded and maintained. very strict, very orderly. And
Rolling
then
through the list of rules, I'm guessing there's a rule that says no firearms, no weapons.
there isn't that says anything about that. It's just you're accountable, and everyone with you is held accountable.
You are
Okay.
free to use your weapons. However, we will also use our weapons.
And then he would also give you a note saying, the bodies and the prisoner are going to be processed up here at the Colonial Marshal's office. So, with that, I'm going to say, William, I know you're going to go up there. Is anyone else going to go up to the Colonial Marshal's office with them? Okay.
I
So,
don't think I don't think the
That's
rest of us
fine.
have any reason to.
all right. So let me pull up the notes here.
Cam says, sailor on shore leave.
Okay. So you get to the Colonial Marshal's office, and when you get there, you're greeted by Deputy Marshal Rook Halden. He's the acting marshal unofficially. He's older. He's in his mid 40s. With him is Officer Talia Brandt, patrol officer investigator. She is young 30s. And then the last one is Cadet Milo Wren, age 22, brand new, and is still learning everything. And so when you get there, everything is like tight and orderly. Like all the paperwork is stacked. There is a place for every single thing. There is not a misplaced pen, pencil. All the computers are lined up. And he's basically, you walk in and the marshal is like sitting there. And then he goes, all right, Talia, take Greg in here. Go ahead, get him, get his statement, get his information. And he looks up and then he goes, how can I help you?
Marshal William Kane was traveling on the Astral Ventures vessel Arsenal to ultimately to Ironside. But of course, I'm at the whim of uh, their corporation. They were we were exploring a planet, found an unregistered colony, and to put it bluntly, it had been filled with a bunch of cultists who wanted to live off the grid, and probably through exposure to some strange biological and chemical processes on this little planetoid, they all off themselves. But they had been strung along by the people on whatever Greg's ship is called. I can't remember if we ever got its name.
I believe it's no name. Sorry.
Yeah, no name.
So, and I'm presenting, copies of the various reports and statements we've already accumulated, including our video recordings of what we found in the colony, and also, some of the actual dangers we found in other parts of this planetoid. But then the other ship came in with some of these people, and to make a long story at least somewhat short, they basically drew down on me and were marching me off to. They knew that this jig was up. They'd been basically conning these people, and suddenly all their cash cows were dead, and the jig was up, and they were going to use me as a shield to get off the planet on their ship. I finally took a moment to start something with them, and fortunately, the members of the crew on my ship responded, and we had to ventilate a couple of them, but one of them's currently in cryo, and their pilot came with us to get us here to this station. We have the bodies of the deceased, including the colonists that killed themselves, and what little information we have on them.
So we're gonna pause. Welcome raiders. We had 2 different raids come in. So roll for perception and then DN denial. Welcome in everybody. Hope you are enjoying this and hopefully you all had a great game. We're currently doing the Alien RPG Vault Edition and we just made it to a new space station. And that is where we're at right now. And so the acting deputy would kind of turn and he just goes through and he's like, well, your records are all tight. You seem to be able to handle yourself. And you said that you're a official marshal. Can I verify your badge number?
Yeah, I'll even hand him the badge to look at it, make sure it's not a, you know, a fake.
Yeah. And he goes, he like enters it in the system and he's kind of going through and he's like chatting you like, oh, you were part of this, you ran this, and he's kind of going through it and he's like, well, you seem to know how to handle yourself and what you're doing. Here's the thing. Our last marshal passed away. Got drunk, got in a bar fight, and needless to say, both of them are no longer with us. The marshal, because he was causing troubles and wasn't doing anything. He was newly hired, not even a month in, and now we're going to have to wait a few months for anyone to radio back to try and hire someone else. We have an open spot. I want nothing to do with it. I like not having responsibility and being able to go home and pour a glass of whiskey and relax. So, if you're looking for a job, we have an opening. Obviously, you'll have to talk to your crew and everything else, and you'll probably have to
I've
have a
lost
conversation.
contact with everybody.
Oh, are you back, Paul? Can you hear us?
For a moment, everybody else seems to be freezing, and
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know
back.
if it's my connection or your connection or what.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So can you still hear us? You look you're frozen on your end.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no.
I know. I'll never let
They hit
go,
him with a
Paul.
freeze ray.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Let's see if
The
he hops back in.
disconnection.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
There it
Works
goes.
a little better.
So, long story short is I don't know where we cut out or not. Basically, he's
I
sitting
got the
there.
impression he doesn't want the top job. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to look at him and at what was the woman's name?
I think that's Talia.
That's what I thought you might have said.
Yeah, Talia.
And say, okay, well then who's responsible for all this stuff being lined up and picture perfect? Is that you? Is that you, Deputy Marshal, or is it you,
And he kind of looks
Patrol
and he
Officer?
goes, you can thank her. She's the one who instilled it, but ultimately comes from the top down. The new marshal that was hired came highly recommended, but seemed to have a few little pieces of baggage that we did not know about. And needless to say, Miss Ackbar likes a very tight ship. And so, through Talia, she was able to help organize everything and keep it all straight. And then I just know the ins and outs of everything. And I enjoy being able to sit back, relax, and enjoy everything here, but I don't want to deal with the decision making. I'll get you the information, I'll go do whatever, but I hate making choices.
You handle the admin, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, I'm certainly first of all, I'm flattered at the offer, and I'm very tempted. Um, I would assume that Miss Ackbar might have some say in whether or not I can have this position, or it would at least be politic to uh, consult with her, don't you think?
She's already got a dossier going right now on every single one of you, the entire crew, and who's on it, and is running the background check on everybody. She already knows who
Oh,
you
so
are, and so, and I've already sent up my initial findings right now. And he's like sitting there, and he's like, click, and he's like, everything's recorded here. It makes it easy. She's probably watching on the camera right now.
I sort of look around and then
It's like I said, very tight shit, and nothing goes unnoticed. We make sure we follow everything around here. And he goes, and as far as Sean, him and his crew, they did nothing wrong while they were on here. But one of those things is, can't arrest anybody for just being a jerk. And he did nothing wrong, and he didn't break our rules. So he was welcome here, hung out, did his thing. Was he probably doing something shady and taking advantage of people? Sure, but as long as it's not on this station, we can't patrol everything. We can only control what we can control.
I'd never say you could, but uh, Wexy is going to need to be processed and charged.
And he's like, yep, Talia's already produced the report and it's ready to go. And we're getting ready to call in to have her exported or transferred out to a detention center. And he's like, pulls up the report and he like turns it screen around and it like has all of her information inputted. All the data's already tagged and everything else. Like, spotless how quickly everything and efficient everything is, detailed all the way out. And it's like, we're just sitting here. By the time they get here, we should have all the other reports finished and then go ahead and get her shipped off.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, I I think I know exactly how things are going to go. Once we get the official approval for me to take this position, I will go consult with uh, Astral Ventures real quick, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. One or two are probably going to be glad to see the back of me.
All right. So with that, we are going to transition back to the main group. And so let's see. You all, where are you gonna go to the restaurant? Are you gonna go to the inn? Where are you going to? The casino, the lounge?
Yes. Sam is
Franz,
thinking he hasn't had a good meal in who knows how long. So Sam is interested in finding a nice restaurant where he
okay.
can drop some coin.
And then Franz, what are you gonna do?
I think having been away from civilization for must have been a couple months by now. Franz is curious. Got a little bit of an odd look coming onto the ship. I think he's going to try and find some people, either contacts that he might know or people that might be in the know with people that he knows.
Okay.
To see if he can kind of
They're gonna chat people
see
up.
what's going on. Yeah, see if he can find out news, anything related to some of the organizations he's had dealings with in the past.
Okay.
Just because this seems like a place with a good variety of people.
All right. So where would you like to go? The restaurant and chat people up, or are you gonna go to the casino, the club,
Probably be
engineering?
more casino club side of things.
Okay. And then we're gonna put Sam over here.
And before Sam goes to the restaurant, he's going to go back on board the ship and put on something nice.
Okay.
Franz did put on his nicest Hawaiian shirt.
All right. And then Stanley, where would you like to be?
That is a good question. I am probably going to be at the stores,
Okay.
like, because basically making sure that we have all of our stuff replaced and ready to go.
Okay. And then Isaac.
Isaac is planning on going to the stores on the station.
Okay.
He's while the ship was making its way towards the station, he was making a list to see if they had certain items available.
Yeah, absolutely. So you all kind of separate and kind of go your different ways. And then Franz, as you separate and go to the casino and you're kind of looking around, you get a tap on your shoulder.
Uh,
And it's
I'll
Rowan
look to
again.
the. Okay, that's the one that greeted us.
Yep.
Okay.
And he goes, Miss Ackbar would like to speak to you.
Okay.
And then I would say, as you're thinking about that, 2 security guards come up behind you, and he goes, if you would come this way.
Okay.
And they
You know
kind of
what, keep
take
her
you,
waiting.
they kind of take you like kind of like the back way, like through the service corridors and stuff, kind of like out of eyes reach. He punches in a security code, and kind of makes his way around, and they make their way towards the corporate office. And that is where you meet Dr. Helena Ackbar. And then she turns to you and goes, I think you might know somebody, a friend of mine.
I know a lot of people, so you might have to be a little more specific.
And she goes, you might have come across something with Jim back on, and I forget was it a ship or was it a planet that you were on?
Planet.
Okay. And then she was like, you and Jim came across something that you shouldn't have seen. I just want to let you know, Jim was a friend of mine. And unfortunately, when we scanned your face, you also triggered on a couple bounty hunter lists. So, this puts me and you in a very odd predicament right now. Because, see, Jim was a friend of mine, and I assume a friend of yours. And I'm not very happy with the way things went and how he is no longer with us. But I assume that you probably know more to the story than I do. How about I help you get away from these bounty hunters and find a way to make the bounty go away in honor of Jim.
Well, Jim was a good man. the way things went down. Definitely wasn't ideal.
No, it wasn't.
If you could help me get out of this bind, the help would certainly be appreciated.
And she turns and she was like, that shuttle that you got off on, that was arranged for Jim by me when I was the magistrate over there, the administrator strategist. He called and told me what had happened. I'm just glad that at least one of you got out. And with that, that is where we are going to end tonight's stream. Or did you want to go a little bit further?
No, the basic idea is I'm assuming everything, stamps of approval. I let the crew know that I'm going to be staying here, taking over their marshal's office. If there might somewhere down the line be a round of drinks and a roasting, I'm not worried about it. And because my deputy marshal seems to like low stress environments, he will be the one leading up the uh, attempts to identify the dead colonists and alert their next of kin. That's a nice low pressure job. There's no time constraints.
Okay.
But that would be about it.
And then
If Helen Ackbar at some point wants to chat with me, that would be fine. I don't think I have any trouble with her at this point. So, but
yeah.
if she's like, oh, he's fine, just as long as he doesn't cause trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to be a problem is your breach of contract.
Yeah, well.
All shares forfeited.
All right.
I didn't take this job to become rich, unlike the rest of you.
I like it. All right. Well, that is where we are going to end tonight's stream. So we have William joining the Colonial Marines and stepping away from the crew. And
Marshals, you mean?
Yes,
not
Marshals.
Marines.
Marshals. He's re-upping. He's going back to boot camp. No.
Come on, Marines, let's go.
And then Franz appears to have a little bit of a history and might have some corporate bounties on him, and is now going to be supported by potentially Ms. Ackbar and helping him eliminate those. So he might be disappearing.
Sugar mama.
Yeah. So he might.
I'm just wondering how Franz got hired in the first place.
Yeah.
How did we miss this?
Ellis did a very thorough background search.
Who missed that, Stanley?
I will say, Franz.
Is Franz even your real name?
Maybe. Franz did. I will give this bit of information. Franz, he wanted to become a pilot, but he knew he would not be able to get into the Colonial Marines to become a pilot normally. So he did, maybe forge some documentation and whatever to get that job in the first place. So it wouldn't be the first time.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to do experience, page 30. So everyone gets 1 point for experience. Did you risk or sacrifice something? I don't think anything for this round. Did you risk your life? I don't think so. Nope. Did you challenge or stand up to your rival PC?
I'm going to say I did.
Okay.
Because of that whole let's space.
Yeah.
Like, no. Otherwise, I like Stan's plan, but that part, no.
Yeah. No panic. dangerous event, I'd say no, unless you consider the spacing. No.
Potential spacing.
Significant discovery or revelation. I would say Franz gets a point for that one, but I don't think anyone else gets that information.
I don't know. Finding a
There's a big
finding out about
Oh,
a giant
yes.
secret space station.
Sure, yes, everyone gets a point there. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Sorry, I developed this, so in my head it's just been there. Perform an extraordinary action of some kind. And then earn money. Yes, everybody earned money, so. All right. So with that, let's transition to... I keep doing that. All right. And that is where we are going to end tonight. And I believe, Liam, you have the sign-off message for us tonight.
I do.
All right, give it to us.
So, this takes place a little bit back before we make the FTL jump. You see Isaac sitting in the bridge, turning around once to make sure that nobody's around, before then starts typing on one of the consoles. You see on a terminal, it says, transmission to Steer City, LaSalle Bionational Headquarters. Attached documents, data on specimens found on X11C, 11X. More information will be sent in on next transmission. Nobody expects a thing. And he sends it and wipes all traces of the transmission and makes his way towards the cryo bay. That's it.
All right. Except for all of us. We now know. Get him!
That's the plan.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Raiders, for coming in. I hope everyone had a great time tonight. And as always, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. We will be live next Tuesday, currently at 8 p.m. We'll let you know if there's any changes to that. And I think that's it. So don't forget to add your proficiency bonus again. Have a great evening, everybody. Take care.
See ya.
Take care, gang.
Danger. The emergency disrupt system is now activated. The ship will detonate in T-minus 10 minutes. The option to override automatic detonation expires in T-minus 5 minutes.